Oh, buddy. Scott Stefano first across the line. Mike Draco. It's Sunday night. Must be time for ice cream and shop talk. Tim Stahl. That's right. Jeremy Sather in with us. I like ice cream. Jason Sims. Hey, hey, hey. So listen, man. We're 4 minutes out from going live with Shop Talk, and I have... Oh my God, I can't even believe what we have in store for you guys tonight. It's insane. I just saw two of the coolest motorcycles. I would have given my left leg for either one of them. And you guys are going to check them out right here. Tonight on the show live, we're going into Denver's Choppers. And Mondo is going to show us what's going on there. We got tons of stuff to talk about with upcoming shows in Sturgis and Hollister. We got some great tech tonight, some great products. So you know what to do. Hit the like and share button. Grab a cold drink. Sit back, relax. 3.5 minutes. We're going live with Shop Talk. Let me say hi to some of you guys here. Doug Riquette in from Walla Walla, Washington. David Crum. Tom Kiefer. Here we go. Leanne Sims checking in. Mohawk Mike. What's up? Vanessa Hernandez. Good to see you here. David Bird. Carl Ashby. Man, you guys are piling in tonight. Paul, what's up, buddy? Tony Tello. Moultonboro, New Hampshire, in the house. Sasha Cycle of Sturgis. So good to see you here, Sasha. Can't wait to come and hang out with you, man. It's going to be a great show tonight. Bill Reed, Lisa Ballard in with us. What's up, Miss Lisa from Chop Cult? Flybro checking in from Cody, Wyoming. Everybody's here tonight. Oh my goodness. Hot in New Mexico. Alphonse. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. It's an honor for us to do this show every week, and we're having a good time. I'm glad you're digging it. 2.5 minutes, we're going live with Shop Talk. Stick around. Speaking of surprises, Troy Phillips, West Virginia, up in here. Jeremy Valentine, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Rob Doer. Hey, Paulie's Island here. Steve Broyles, Detroit. Poppy in the house. Now it's a show. That's what's up. Greg White, Gus, my man. Always good to see Gus. You know it's going to be a good show. We're just 2 minutes out, man. 2 minutes. You better be putting those ice cubes in the glass and getting ready. We got 90 to 120 minutes of all the bullshit we can fit. And we're going live with Shop Talk. 1.5 minutes. Big D checking in. D, I'm so sorry I haven't got a hold of you yet, man. It's first on my list for tomorrow. Reach out to me anytime. In the garage all day. You guys are going to see we got to do some cool stuff today with SpeedKing, Jeff Cochran's Dropseat, Dropseat kit. Ramon Silva, Randy Wagner in the house, finishing the wall, Scott Stefano. Jeff Joliffe, Mitchell, South Dakota. South Dakota strong tonight. That's awesome, man. Troy Phillips, I'm a surprise. I make it most shows. Love you guys. Good to see you here, Troy. Thanks, man. Just a minute. Oh, what the hell. It's 30 seconds out. That's close enough. I guess it's time to get this one out of the station and up onto the tracks. Let's go live with this week's installment of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, Scooter Tramps and Chopper Jockeys, it is exactly 9:01. Closest I've been in months now. and we're going live with Shop Talk here in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, 50 floors below the street level. I'm your host, Chris Callen with Cycle Source Magazine. I'm going to take you on a guided trip through the motorcycle world over the next 90 to 120 minutes, joined by my crew. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Howdy, howdy.
We lost Mark. Mark's fading out.
Oh my God.
He's on the dope again.
Oh my
He's
God.
fading fast.
He's on the
It's
dope
like
again.
Back to
What
the Future
happened to your
with
camera?
McFly.
What happened to your camera?
What is going on right there? I haven't even been smoking any weed yet. There's something's broken.
Oh, we're 2 seconds into
What,
the show.
what are you doing? You got a great shot of my shirt, though. Look at that.
What's happening?
That's it. You broke it.
That's precisely why we can't have nice
I'm just gonna have to share your.
Look how I fixed
thought
that.
it was gonna be like Back to the Future
I
when
don't know. That
McFly
was
parents don't hook up.
that
and
was
it
actually
fades
the
away from the picture.
that was the fog that was in my head from the shots of Mondo's shop.
Right?
Was what it was, because there was some cool shit. They kept going to the bikes and passing over the car there, and I'm like, dude, stop the car.
Stop the car. Stop the car.
It's a motorcycle show.
I know.
Motorcycle.
But there's a car.
Hey,
We could do a car show.
There's a car. and then also Mondo. So
the car was the star, man. The car was the star.
It's pretty cool.
So, hey, listen, thanks for tuning in. We got so much stuff to get through tonight. You guys, so Mark and I were in the garage today. Really, really cool. We did the SpeedKing Dropseat kit on Shovelhead, and really nice product.
Quality.
Went together super easy. We got a tech on that tonight. We got some cool products to go along with that. But the big news is that shop. Like we're in the studio watching as they're walking around the shop. It's killing me. That's why everything is going wrong here, because no one's paying attention to the show.
Yeah, we never even checked cameras, mics, nothing. Seriously. And Heather had to yell at us because we were just getting started talking about the car.
I'm
She's
like, it's showtime. Hello.
Paul,
Hello.
hi guys from North Mississippi. Wow, it's so good to see all you. There's so many people in tonight. It's crazy.
They're not here for us, just so you know.
You know,
they're here for Mondo.
For Mondo,
We'll take that.
Godfather of
That's it, they're here
Choppers.
for
That's
Mondo.
right. That's right. All hail, my man. So here's the deal. If you haven't tuned into Shop Talk before, we do this show every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we want to give a big shout out to all of our supporters, advertisers, sponsors, but mostly we want to stop for 1 second and give a big thanks to Chopper Town, because a lot of the people that are coming in, you'll see people commenting from all around the world. A lot of those people watch through Chopper Town. We appreciate them help getting this program and more like it out all over the place. So thank you very much for that. In addition to the two-wheel entertainment that we're going to have here this evening, we have all kinds of stuff. We do tech, we do some product, we do 90 to 120 minutes, all the bullshit we can fit. And it always starts off with a little segment we call the news. First up in the news tonight. Hey, wait a minute. Hang on. Just hold it right there. But I have an announcement to make. This was pretty cool. I got a side gig.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I did. Thursday nights, we do another program called Torque Performance. I got to be, it's like the equivalent of the Weather Girl, but
Are you Robin Quivers?
I'm not hot, and well, we'll leave my age alone. But I get to do the news on Torque now. Like I'm their Robin Quivers.
Really? Well,
That's awesome.
I wouldn't say you're there, Rob, if you not do the news.
Aren't you so glad you have another job? Like, you needed that.
Yeah,
like a
I'm pretty
hole in
happy
the
about that. Okay, so back to the news.
Well, so glad that's over with.
Wow.
Royal Enfield may launch the highest number of models in a single year in 22. New Delhi mid-sized motorcycle maker Royal Enfield expects the current physical to be one of the best for the company in terms of new model launches, as it looks to drive in a new array of products for domestic and international markets, according to top company official. We brought this up on Torque this week too, and specifically for the fact that it's just a sign that these guys are kicking ass.
They
killing
came
it.
out swinging, hands down.
Well, when they come out with an entry-level bike for $4,300, how
That's
can you not?
That's a real entry-level bike. Absolutely.
I mean, it's perfect.
So next up in the news, Viva Vespa, celebrating the 75 years of the scooter that changed the two wheels forever.
Hey, man.
You have to do the whole thing like that.
I can't.
Oh,
75
come
years
on.
ago this spring,
Come
motorcycling, or to be precise, powered two-wheelers changed forever when the very first scooter was launched. Pretty cool, man. Happy birthday, Vespa.
If you would,
There is something cool about
It
a
is.
Vespa.
if he would have done
Ciao.
that whole thing in
That's
that, he would have pissed off the whole Italian community.
including him. That's why he said it. Because listen, okay, this almost came in under batshit crazy news. So the record has been set, world's longest no hands motorcycle wheelie. The record stood at 89 meters. Why do they do that for us stupid Americans? Why don't you just put that in feet so the rest of us can participate?
Well, let's not get carried away.
They converted his record into mile.
The record stood at 89 meters for 17 years until this guy, who I'm not even trying to pronounce, a freestyle
Well, you
rider.
have to try. I put it there just so you would
A
try.
freestyle rider from this place that I'm also not trying to pronounce
From Rajasthan.
in India managed 6 times that, 567 meters or 0.352 mile. We don't even understand how that works. Okay, so you guys might be unclear on this also, and that's why we're going to roll the film. So I want to be a smartass and say something like, hey, that's not even really that long, because it technically he didn't even go
Did
the
you
whole.
do it?
Well, that's why I can't say anything smart, because I couldn't even pee that long no-handed. You know what I mean? Like, I have a hard time if I was standing up through that whole thing, I'd have to lean to one side.
So, according to Google, it's 97.332 yards. Thank you, Mr. Nussbaum, for being the Googler of the night.
Why would it have been him? Of all people.
Because my Googling is very slow.
We gotta
right
get him
now.
a hobby.
So we have a William King. I think he said he was from New Hampshire. He's asking all sorts of questions, which some could construe as inflammatory. What's your favorite motorcycle? And then,
Panhead.
what is the best front end for a chopper?
Are you kidding me?
You can't ask those questions.
So we're building a 49 Panhead for the 25th anniversary of Cycle Source magazine, which will happen in April of next year, and it is going to have the best front end on it, and that's
On the show.
the Narrow Wishbone from Denver's. So there you go.
Yeah. Now you're on record.
Listen, what can
And
I
then
do?
Mike Draco wants to know what your favorite flavor is. Favorite flavor of what? Ice cream? What are we talking about?
Graham Central Station. It's my favorite flavor ice cream.
Shoot!
He asked, I answered.
Okay, back in the news. Laconia Motorcycle Week 2021 kicks off this weekend. World's oldest motorcycle rally gets back to business from June 12th to the 20th.
That's
Thank
awesome.
God, because boy, it was on the ropes, right?
You know, Andy's been giving me little updates. He said they had a really strong opening weekend,
Yeah.
which I think is awesome. And like I said before, I think every event that happens this year is going to break records.
Dennis-
I really do.
Me too.
Dennis Stauber, you bastard. So he was
I'll
asking
pass
about.
on butter pecan.
I love butter pecan.
I like it too, but they asked favorite.
Let's get down.
I love
What's
all
your
ice cream.
favorite, Mark?
Graham Central Station.
My favorite
is that?
Yeah,
is
that's
almost any
like
ice cream someone else brings me.
Like a graham cracker kind of. It's amazing.
Who makes it?
I think-
I've never
I
heard
think
of such
Hershey.
a thing.
If I'm not mistaken, Hershey.
Oh.
makes it.
Okay, so we have some more news. I just want to say real quick for the Laconia thing, man. Congratulations to them. You know, what are we? 2 weeks, 2 years now away from 100 years. So good
Yes.
to see that they're off to a strong start this year, and especially with it was right up until the line. We didn't know whether that rally was going to go on
And then if
with
you-
all the restrictions or.
And if you've never been there, like the place is awesome. So
Oh,
the
that's
scenery, the riding,
that's what I wanted to get to in this story. of course, the history, America's oldest motorcycle rally. But this is the thing. If you go to Laconia for Bike Week and you don't ride to Mount Washington, if you don't ride the Kankamangas Highway, you're missing at least half of the reason to be there.
Yeah.
Because it's for people that come from the flatlands especially, but even people like the hills of Pennsylvania really have nothing on the views from Mount Washington. You got to check it out.
And we got
I have
some
a
pretty
question
good
for you,
views.
Chris.
Okay.
Half the time you can't say your own name right, but you can say Kankamangas right. How is that possible?
Because I'm a motorcycle guy.
You get extra points for that.
Right on.
And it's something he likes.
All right, man. So listen, we're going to hop around for a minute real quick while I switch over to get ready for our guests and take a look at some new products here in the Grease and Gears Garage. Stick around. Hey, Chris with Cycle Source Magazine in the Grease and Gears Garage today to do a product spotlight on the Drag Specialties Premium Adjustable Shocks. We got these shocks in particular in black. This is going to go on our shovel head project for Twisted Tea. Here's what's nice about this. Black shocks, black bodies, black springs, 10.5, so this is low rider all day long. Adjustable spring rate. You can see here in the springs, looser here, tighter as it gets up to the top, so it's a progressive spring. The preload on the shock is adjustable here. You can see at the bottom the tool comes with the shocks for adjusting the preload. Center of eyelet to eyelet 10.5 inches, so that's going to give you your super low ride. These come in right at $235 retail. You can check them out at DennisKirk.com or your local Drag Specialties dealer. Tell them the guys from Grease and Gears Garage sent you. Okay, so to answer Rob Nussbaum real quick, Contucook. Did I say it right? Contucook.
No, Kentucky.
No.
It's not ooh. I'm from
There's
there. I know.
to cook.
That's not how you say it.
Well, that beats my first assessment of it, which was going to be Conacock. He said cock.
I'm gonna stay out of this one completely.
Okay, man. So listen, our guest this evening absolutely doesn't need my introduction whatsoever. Referred to by almost everyone who knows anything from the chopper world as the Godfather of Choppers. From Denver's Choppers, help me welcome to the show, Mr. Mondo Porras. Mondo, what's going on?
Another day in paradise, my friend. Being my age and be able to do this kind of work is just beyond belief, and it's a dream come true. And I'm having a ball building new bikes with Gerald, and we've got a lot of new bikes that are coming out. We've been busting on for this season of bike shows. I think everybody's tired of staying at home, and we're gonna get out there and put on some good shows and kick some ass. And you guys are going to be there covering it and being a part of the show. And I want to thank you guys for what you do.
Oh.
You're taking this thing to a whole new level and taking it worldwide. And you're making it very special for all of us. And I'm very proud of you guys. Thank you.
Well, buddy, I'll tell you what, it means the world to us that you just think that anything that we're doing is cool, because for as long as I can remember, why choppers are even cool, it's because of you and the guys from that shop. So we're honored to be part of any of it. And man, you're killing us over here with those motorcycles. Killing us.
You're not kidding.
Well, you know what, Chris, I'm just doing what I've always done. I'm not replicating anything or anything else. I just been building the same choppers I've been building for 54 years. I haven't changed. And I even, for an example, the Gerald's bike right behind me is a motorcycle that all of Denver's bikes are orange with purple flames, except for one that he did in a cop bike theme, and with the frame molding and all this stuff. So these two bikes that we just built are a tribute to Denver and his style of bike and what he loved and the paint jobs and everything. So we're flashing back to these bikes, and we're going to go take a ride in Sturgis this year. We're going to do a Bret Hat Memorial chopper ride.
Oh,
So
no kidding! I didn't know that, man.
For Bret, we're going to do that ride, so it's really going to be a special deal, and we're going to take these old bikes and run them down the road.
What day is that?
Back to the old days, you know.
What day is that ride?
I don't know. I have to get with Sturgis Bob.
I think it's the Friday, first Friday.
First Friday, so that'd be August 6th.
Oh man, you can count us in. I have to be on that ride.
We're gonna go do that deal for Bret, and we got a lot of people coming, and any chopper enthusiasts out there that want to join us. And Sturgis Bob, who obviously lives in Sturgis, is going to take us all the back roads. So we're going to stay off the freeways and just go right around in the canyons and just have some fun. So that's just one of the many things that we're involved with this year, you know, as far as motorcycle shows and events, and I'll bring you up to date on all of that. Exciting times. For example, yesterday we did the deal for Kyle Brewer. Kyle Brewer's the frame builder at Paco, and probably one of the best frame builders in the world. In fact, there's an example of his work right here. These frames, I just tell him what I want, and he'll pop them out, and then I said leave them raw, and I'll put all the tabs and make everything else for him. And he's just a fabulous bike builder, and he's having problems. He's got health issues right now, and so we had a fundraiser for him yesterday.
See, that stuff happens to him just like it does to us.
Yeah, shop shit, you know.
Sorry about that, Chris. We're obviously inside my shop. The compressor went on, and anyway, I was talking about Kyle. So we did a benefit for him yesterday in Carson City, Nevada, at the Battleborn Harley Davidson, and to raise money, we did a rolling chassis and auctioned that off, and raffled that off, and we did parts and front ends and other stuff, and I think we raised a lot of money. A little bike show going on, so the support was outstanding. And you can go to Kyle Brewer at GoFundMe Kyle Brewer and still go ahead and contribute, you know, whatever you can. Open your hearts, open your wallets, and let's take care of one of our own. Kyle's a really phenomenal bike builder, but he's very ill, and he could use our support right now.
Yeah, we put his GoFundMe up in the comments. If anybody needs any more information about that, please feel free to reach out to us. But like Mondo said, man, I mean, here's a cat who has literally dedicated his life to the custom culture and the community around it. So don't be shy. Take an opportunity and get involved.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Heck, he kept you out of jail in Vegas.
He did. That's a long story.
He did.
Hey, you know, with that compressor running, if you could just smell the smells, you could see what it would feel like to be in a shop right now on a Sunday. And we're doing some work here in the shop and having a great day. But I want to talk to you. That stupid compressor went off. I want to talk to you a little bit more about the bikes that we're building here.
Yeah.
It's got a simulated gas tank. It's got a little seam that runs around it, and the tank comes off. There's bolted with 2 bolts on the bottom, as you can see the fine line here. And we took and peaked the legs on this thing. This is all done with Bondo. And back in the days when I used to be Bondo Mondo and do all the frame molding for Denver, this is the kind of stuff we did. And so it's very retro when we brought it back on a couple bikes, and I think it's kind of cool that molding. And if Gerald, you can get a picture of the overall on the bike. So this is the kind of bike that Denver would ride. It have the pullback bars, adjustable handlebars. You loosen the nut, and they slide up and down, and so you can set it where you want to go. And the 18-inch back wheel. He liked the skinny wheels, and so this is a tribute to Denver to his orange bike. Go ahead and walk around, show him that, and then we'll show him the cop bike.
And for those people that don't do mud work or work with Bondo, it's not easy to make it look that nice. I've been doing it pretty much my whole life, and boy, what a talent it is to keep those lines that tight. And I mean, he's Mondo, you're an artist. I mean, hands down, you have been for years.
Well, this is I hadn't done this in a while, and then we decided to build this tribute bike for Denver, and I said, okay, I'm going to get into it. In fact, the story behind it is it was Christmas Day, and I was on the zone working on this thing, and
And I called my daughter. I was supposed to go to her house for Christmas. I said, I'm in a zone. Leave me alone. I'll catch you another day. And she goes, Dad, I've been around you all my life. Get your molding done. So this one was done on Christmas Day. And
See,
and
baby?
I like the way it came out.
See,
Yeah.
it runs in the blood.
It
Yeah.
does, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And-
There's no pulling you away.
And like Chris is saying, we can actually, magazine's been 27 years. We've been friends way longer than that. We have been talking about you in Denver's and the stuff you've been building literally our whole lives. You are the reason, probably the moldings and the long bikes. That's for me, for sure. I mean, I could probably speak for Chris too, but this is the reason we went that direction.
Denver's Choppers was started in the bike capital of the world, Verdun, which is San Bernardino, California, Southern California for you people out there. But Verdun was home of the Hells Angels. That's where they started. It was home of the Vagos Motorcycle Club. Their first clubhouse was right behind our shop in San Bernardino, and a lot of other clubs as well. So we were in the Mecca. That's what we did. We were a biker town, and we were bikers and building bikes. And we started building bikes for ourselves and customizing them, Denver and the rest of us guys, and people started coming to us and going, wow, we really like what you're doing with the stretch frames and the long front ends, and can you do one for me? And before you know it, we closed the custom hot rod shop down where we're building custom paint cars and airbags and chopping tops, and went into motorcycles, and we've never really looked back. It's just something that's just been unbelievable. And here we are 54 years later and still playing with this stuff and having a ball. Let me show you this bike here. This bike is a cop bike. It's a California Highway Patrol badge painted on here. And then I did the air cleaner. This is a 1940 knucklehead. And it was another bike that Denver had. He did one in this theme. And so building these tribute bikes to Denver, I decided, well, let's do two of his favorite bikes. And so we went ahead and did this one. And it's got the molding as well. And it's got gold leaf pinstriping. It's got the peak frame. I took a dish tank and flattened the bottom so I could do the molding. I don't know if you can see the line around there, but yeah, and it's pretty cool. Adjustable handlebars. The air cleaner I made, and I took a Highway Patrol badge and then got a Harley Police emblem here and adapted it on here, changed the backing plate for an e-carburetor. My friend made me the manifold because you can't buy them, so we made the manifold. And this one even has blue running lights on it, if you can check that out.
Dude, Gerald's
But
camera.
I got them on a separate switch, Chris, so the cops can't get me.
Yeah.
Gerald's
They're not
camera work
like
is impeccable,
running
just to
lights.
let you know.
Yeah, Gerald.
And then we did on both our bikes, we did the swoop cantilevered sissy bar, the cutout fishtails,
That's
18-inch wheels.
That sissy bar is fabulous.
And then it's just two bolts hold it on here and here. The chain guard, they hold the whole thing from sliding back, so it's like a truss, and the two bolts here. So actually 2-3 bolts hold the whole sissy bar on.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it cantilevers out. And then the frame molding back here, well, as the peak legs here. And then it's electric start 6-speed. And it's punched out to 74. It was an EL. So we're having fun with both these bikes. And we want to debut them at all the shows. And your show, obviously, we want to be there for your show in Sturgis.
Oh, it'll be an honor.
Yeah, so this is what we've been playing with here lately, is going back and doing these old school bikes with the molding. So I probably got one or two left in me. If anybody out there wants something like this, tell them to give me a call, and I'll see what I can do about hooking them up with something really old school.
Let's talk about that for a minute, because I had the fortunate occasion to stop by your shop the first time at your old shop, where all the signatures all over the walls. And
That's a shop in Vegas. Yeah.
And during that visit, we got to talk about what things were like back in the day, and like you gave me an indication of, like, it was literally like factory work. Like there were so many things coming through. You guys would have piles of frame pieces in the back of the shop, and you showed me advertising from like how cheap and how quick you guys were pumping that work out.
Yeah, and boy, those were, you got to remember, back in those days, only bikers were riding bikes, and that it wasn't the yuppies hadn't come along with yet to get into the motorcycle game. So
we had a code. We all took care of each other. We built bikes and rode bikes together and rode with the clubs, and it was a different time, a different era. So I kind of never really left that era, Chris, to be honest with you. I'm still old school that way, and still live by the never leave somebody along the side of the road, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And if a guy needs a part, you loan them a part or give it to them. It's just part of what we do, and I'd love to see the young guys pick that up and carry it on, you know, especially these chopper guys, you know, help your brother out, help your sister out. Let's do this stuff together. We're in this thing together, and that's what makes it so much fun. I've got my machinist here right now hooking up a lathe, and we lost the tail stock off it, so he went and built me one. He's back here hooking it up right now and built the tail stock. Gerald takes all our advertising, our websites, our posters, our marketing. He takes care of all our bike shows. He does all the trophies and everything. So we're all in it together. So that's why Gerald's got that bike. He's got a little gray one behind. I'll show it to you. And he's got 10 other bikes here in the shop that are his, because he's part of our program, you know, part of what we do, and we take care of each other, and we have just a good time building these bikes, and then being imaginative about them and coming up with new ideas. And we always try to outdo ourselves from the last bike. Let's step up our game. Let's see what we can do on this bike. And as a matter of fact, let me get a picture of this one. This is a Captain America bike that I'm starting. In fact, I'll have this thing done this week. I've got all the parts, and we chromed the frame, and I got the knuckles and had them polished, and got the rear axle plates and had those polished. And then I had Kyle pre-polish the frame, and then I went ahead and built the bike, put it together, tore it apart, put some brackets on it and stuff, and had it chromed. So this is going to be going into the Carson City Nugget, and it's going to go in a glass case, but I'm going to ride it down there. So it's going to be a running bike. It's going to be
right on.
Correct. And they're going to do a theme restaurant off of this bike. So,
That's
you know,
cool.
this is kind of fun when I get to do stuff like this. I just did the Billy bike for Dennis that owns the Golden
No
Chopper.
kidding.
Going to raffle off. I built him a replica Billy bike that came out pretty nice. So I like it when I get to do stuff like this and reach out to people like Sugar Bear that knows the history on this bike real well, and you know, just be a part of it that way.
You know, speaking of the history, and going back for a second where you were talking about the code, and you know, you said that you never left that era where things started, and I think some of the young guys today, like, they think, you know, hey, I rock it old school, bro. I'm hard, but the sense of community and responsibility to the community and family and everything that came along with that too. It really was about the fact that no one else was going to take care of us.
Right.
But even as long ago, or as short a time ago as when I started riding Harleys, that it wasn't socially acceptable still.
Yeah.
So you took care of each other. It was a lot out of necessity, and those are the parts, like, I love hearing you talk about that stuff, because that needs repeated. Like, that has to be handed down.
I've got so many stories when it comes to that kind of stuff, that, you know, where you see a guy on a chopper broken down. We used to get our pickup trucks, load them up, take them to our house, would feed them.
Yep.
Keep them overnight if we have to, give them a carburetor, generator. You gotta remember all the parts interchanged back then. And then you get the guy back on the road a week later, you get your carburetor back or your generator with a case of beer. I mean, that's
And a friend for
the
life.
way it was. And, you know, if you needed a part, your bike was down, you'd go over to your bro's garage and say, hey, you got a M74B laying around? He goes, yeah, here's one right here. And nobody got left behind. We're going on a run. Would stay at we used to go to our friend Butch's house and Denver, and all of us, and would stay up all night and put a bike together that night so that guy could go on the run the next day.
Amen.
And then would take what little cash we had and would throw it in a pile. And that, first of all, we bought the beer on the run truck, and then whatever's left over we used for food and gas, and nobody got left behind. You know, you could have $5 or $20, whatever you put in. Nobody got left behind. We were all together as a group, and that's what I missed, the way that was, you know. And we always had the run truck behind us, and if your bike broke down to the point where it couldn't be fixed, it went in the back of the truck, and now it became the parts bike for everybody else. I mean, a wheel, a motor, it was unbelievable. You'd get a raw frame back sometimes, and then
that following week you'd go out to everybody's house and collect your parts back, and so that you had your turn in the run truck, and everybody had a turn in the run truck, because everything was interchangeable, knucklehead, panhead, shovelhead, most all the parts were interchangeable. So that was kind of fun, kind of a fun deal. And if you got stuck, you had to ride in the run truck. That's where all the pot was, and the beer and the Jack Daniels. So it wasn't that bad, So
it was a win-win.
So you still made it to the run. You still partied, had a good time, but your bike broke down, and if somebody got hurt and couldn't ride their bike back wherever we're at, then you get to jump on their bike and ride it back. So it all worked out. It was just fun times, and all those people that I grew up with from Denver's, most all of them are gone, but there's a couple of them still around. And that's another reason I wanted to build these bikes, these tribute bikes to Denver. I wanted these guys to see them. I'm going to invite them to one of the bike shows and come up and take a look, and we can all get goosebumps together and hug each other. And
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, it's a deep lifestyle. It truly is. And like you'd said, to help that guy out for the day, it's not only do you help him out, but you make a friend for life. I mean, a lot of times you never lose contact with that person. So
yeah, and the thing it crossed club lines and everything else, it was us against the world back then. If you were a biker, you were really looked down upon by everybody, and so it took that extra fortitude and that extra strength to be a biker back then, and it was a different world. You just couldn't go buy a chopper and become a biker. You had to go through the rigors of passing the muster with all the rest of the bikers. Buddy. And if they didn't think you were cut out for it, they'd beat you up and take your bike.
Well, I can tell you from, like I'd said, me and Chris, like you, the Denver stuff, you one of our heroes, or one of mine for sure. And then later on down the line, meeting you, first off, was very nervous the first time I met you, which, hard to get starstruck, but like you held true. Like, dude, it was an honor to meet you, number one, but you're just one of the nicest people. There's no ego, no nothing, and you literally live what you say.
And I think that's some of the
whole
stuff.
Thing. Yeah.
That's some of the stuff that we're talking about. The things that are missed today are that family and community and those values.
A lot of people say it, not a lot of people live it. And you live it.
Too many people get caught up in that ego of like, man, they got to get their bike to the show to show everybody what they did, but they're missing the good time and all that.
Yeah,
they're missing the best part.
That's it too. And like to see again, we were just out in Reno last year, and Gerald and took us places, and you're in your element.
Stacy and
and you're in your element, and like you never missed a beat, dude. You never you stopped to talk to everybody, and it's just amazing. You ended up being bigger than the hero we thought you were when we were younger.
Well, it's easy to do when you got Sugar Bear next to you, and Stacy and Gerald, a lot of these other guys that are old homeboys. You just we just do what we do every day and don't do anything different. And you don't put on any airs. This is what we do. This is who we are. And we enjoy what we do so much. And it's just a passion and a part of our life. And I watch you guys, and I watch what you do on the show and stuff. And all you are is a younger version of me. You could have been born 20 years earlier, and you could have rode with us and been part of the family real easily. You would have fit in, both you guys and Heather as well. The girls had to pass the test too. And
well, she's tougher than both of us.
They put up a lot of crap, and they rode on the bikes with just sitting on the fender, and it was tough. Even the girls were different back then than they are now. And
it's amazing how
it's not a bagger with a radio and heated hand grips. Back then it was hold on tight, try not to fall off, and try to stay warm.
We were actually having a conversation today with a friend that stopped at my house, and with Dana and Heather, how they put up with some of the shit that we put them through. And then, like you said, jump on a bike. I was not kidding when I showed the kid the pop can that was as wide as the seat they normally ride on, and never complain, have a good time. And at the end of the day, oh my God, today was so cool. And you're right. It's the, in that backing. So just the whole family, meeting Stacy was one of my favorite people.
Oh, yeah.
I was with Stacy yesterday.
He is one of my
love
favorite
Stacy
people.
to death, and boy, is he pumping out some bikes.
Oh my God!
Yep.
And he does his paint work is just he cracks me up. Everything about him.
He
is
hangs
awesome.
them out
I
on the
know.
clothesline. His wife's clothesline.
Oh, that's
so
fantastic.
listen, there's a couple comments I got to get to here. Rich Kozo says what shop in Denver had a black and white 42 WLA by the counter they were building for Lakewood police deputy in the early 90s. And then Wink Eller says, hey Mondo, dating ourselves, remember camping at the park in Sturgis?
Oh wow.
Yeah. We used to run on the weekends. We used to run up to, being from Purdue, Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear, Crestline. Would just load up a sleeping bag, and then you'd take a toothbrush and cut it in half and stick it in the back pocket. Extra T-shirt. If your underwear got dirty, throw them away, and we were off for the weekend, or longer. No telling how long we'd be gone, but yeah, those were the days. Just carefree, just jump on your bikes, throw the sleeping bag on there, and you were gone. Your leather jacket.
You telling the story about everybody pitching money, and we kid around because we tell a story. We left here to go for a ride one weekend, and when we got to the first gas station, between like six of us, we had like $18, and it was
then everybody gets a little share of that $18.
Yeah, that's it too. And we're like, okay, how are we getting there? And we had a great weekend. Like the whole weekend was a party. So,
and then remember the days when you used to peg a guy if his bike ran out of gas or broke. You pulled up alongside him, he put his foot peg out, and you put your foot on it, and you ran him down the freeway like that.
Yeah, I ran Charlie Ransom about 12 miles on his bike off the mirror of my truck one day.
Yeah.
Good
I mean, that's just the way you did it back then. You peg them, or even if you want to go faster, a guy on each side. And, that took nerves of steel to do that. But that's the way we did it back then. We survived. We were survivors. And,
so hey, speaking of back in the day, and going back to talk about some stuff that's coming up, the Hollister Rally. So everyone remembers the famous, most notorious picture that was ever taken at a motorcycle rally. I have it up on the screen right now. Yeah. But the Hollister Rally has a long and storied past, but it's continuing on. And I'm so happy to hear this. Like, after, it was up and down whether it was going to stay together. Promoters were coming and going. The city got hardcore about it. And it looks like Mike Corbin has personally invested of himself to make sure that this event is going to keep going.
It's a personal passion for Mike to put on, he calls it an open house at his facility. He's got a giant facility there in Hollister where you pull in, and he'll make a fiberglass pan right there while you wait. And he's got a whole room full of upholsterers, and they'll upholster to the way you like, and get you back on the way. He's got a little cafe right there in the building where you can go have lunch while you're waiting for your seat. And beautiful facility, and he's nice enough to let us do a bike show there every year. So this year, July 3rd, we're going to be putting on a chopper show. We do it every year. We missed last year, but we do it every year. We do a chopper show, and this year we've got the Mexican lowrider bikes coming because it's California. Nice. And we got all of them coming, and then we got the Dyna and FXR guys coming too. So I think it's going to be, everybody's tired of staying home. So I think it's going to be a hell of a show, and that's July 3rd. Aaron Green will be there, of course, Stacy, and just a lot of the names that you see out there in the bike building world are going to be there and be a part of this deal that we have. The show is free to enter your bike, and we'll give away some nice trophies and stuff, and just have a great day. There'll be a lot of vendors there. It's all out on grass area of the facility, and so we have a great time. So if you guys aren't doing anything on July 3rd, or 2nd through the 4th is actually when the open house is. The bike show is on the 3rd. Come on out and be a part of that at Hollister. And Hollister's got the history. That's where the movie The Wild One started, and that's where Lee Marvin and
Marlon
Brando were in that movie. You guys remember that? And then Johnny's Bar, that bar they supposedly broke up. Johnny's Bar's there. It's going to be open, and you can go to Johnny's Bar, and it's still the way it was back then. So it's a fun deal if you want to go back and really get some history where it all started. come to Hollister July 3rd.
Now this is the thing I find interesting. Like I'm correct in saying that this is still not endorsed by the city. Like the city has nothing to do with this now. This is just Mike, right?
Yeah, and the city had a chance to do it, and they voted it down. The city council, the mayor was for it, but the city council voted it down, and that's a shame because it brings a lot of money to the community and stuff. But you know, the people on the city council didn't want it, so Mike's going to go ahead and do it himself, and it's still packed. People still come and flood that town. You know, you can't keep people from coming, and so it's a cool deal, and it's kind of where on the West Coast is probably the first big show we're doing here on the West Coast is the Hollister deal. So
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that. And then the next thing we're going to be doing, Chris, is I'm looking at my notes, is the Schools Out Bike Show in Sturgis on August 7th, which is a Saturday, and that's at the Buffalo Chip. And that's a chopper show that you covered last year, and been great. Every year you cover that show, and
One of the absolute best.
yes, and it's a big show, and it's a lot of choppers. We're getting a lot of this chopper show deal that we have on. Mario's got on line. We got over 50,000 members to that already, and all chopper enthusiasts. So I think this show is going to be bigger than ever, and we're going to give away rolling chassis. Aaron Green will be there, Gerald will be there judging, and Aaron Green will be judging. Billy Lane will be there. You'll be there, and your crew covering it. And so, if you guys want to bust loose, and what's cool about the way things work in Sturgis, you guys, is we'll do that show, and then the next day, Chris, you do your show, and the next day the Horse Magazine does theirs. So every day there's a bike show going on. So if you got a chopper, you're not just going out there for one show. You're going to be hitting a different show every day, and every day they're great shows. And I try to hit them all. So that's our deal. Is I'll be the emceeing that show with Billy and Aaron Green and Gerald, and so that's going to be a big deal for the Buffalo Chip. Doesn't cost anything to bring your bike to the show. You don't have to pay to get into the campground because it's off-site of the campground. So everybody just show up, have a good time there August 7th on Saturday, and then get ready to do your show the next day. So we're excited about that. And also what's going on there at the same time at the Buffalo Chip, Mike Lichter's having his invitational show, you know, that indoor show that he puts on every year. So we're going to have that blue bike that we did, that tribute bike for Indian Larry with all that beautiful artwork on it. We're putting that in the Mike Lichter show, and Aaron Green has built a fabulous bike. Been working on it for years. It's all stainless steel, very, very intricate. I think it's going to be some of his best work. That'll be there, and I don't know if Billy's going to have one in there or not. But so you get to do two shows, and one stop when you go to the Buffalo Chip on one day, and that's also why when we're talking about that golden chopper, the story behind that.
Yeah.
If you want to give them a little background why I grabbed this plaque I've got here.
Absolutely. So, a lot of you guys, especially watching from Chopper Town, know Good Time Charlie Brechtel. Charlie was in his second movie when they were telling the story of the golden chopper, the greatest panhead that was ever built. And part of the new movie was going to be finding the golden chopper. And, there were going to be clues throughout the movie. And if you put all the clues together and found the chopper, you won the chopper and cash. And unfortunately, Charlie was taken from this world before he was able to complete the movie. And his brother, Dennis Sanfilippo, has put this motorcycle up to honor Charlie. They're raffling this off. All the proceeds, when you buy a ticket, the money goes straight to the Sturgis Museum and Hall of Fame in his name and honor. You can buy one ticket for $20 or 6 tickets for $100, and you get a chance to win this incredible motorcycle. But at the same time, you're getting a chance to memorialize, one of the best guys out here that was involved in motorcycles, music, and media. Old Charlie sure did a lot of it. So check him out.
This bike was Dennis approached us to do this bike, Paco and myself, and So it's done with the Denver front end. Obviously, the motor's pristine, rebuilt, and it's golden. Obviously, it's a gold color bike because that's what it was in the movie. So this will be in Sturgis. I think I'll be bringing it to Sturgis, and you'll be able to see it at the different bike shows every day. And take a chance. Open your wallets and take a chance of getting this. You know, for $20, you got an opportunity to get this fabulous bike that was part of a movie. I don't know. Maybe that movie will be finished sometime. I don't know. They might bring it out. Do you know about that?
I don't know for sure. I don't know, but I think just even this was a really big thing, you know, because for all the investment and everything that everybody behind the movie put into this to just go ahead and make sure that this part of it continued on in Charlie's name and, you know, and goes to the, because let's face it, you and I talked before about this, Mondo, that really the Sturgis Museum and Hall of Fame is the only chance a lot of us, you know, chopper culture people are ever going to have at any kind of Hall of Fame. You know, it's not like many of us are ever going to get into the AMA Hall of Fame. So that's a really, really righteous cause that they put up for that.
You know, when I got in, like I told you, I think I broke the glass ceiling, the first real chopper biker guy to get inducted in the Hall of Fame. And
probably one of the most deserving.
I think I took a few people aback a little bit. They didn't know what to think, you know. And we all, you were there, and we all showed up with our black Denver shirts on.
Yep.
And they made us sit in the corner.
That's
After
awesome.
breakfast, do you remember that?
Yep.
Sugar Bear was with us, and Billy Lane, and
Aaron.
all of us were there, and it was kind of fun being inducted in the atmosphere of the guys that that usually wear the yellow shirts to get in.
Yeah.
You know, you're automatically part of this deal.
And for the guys that
for us to be in the corner with our black shirts on and get in was kind of a big deal. It kind of broke the glass ceiling for all of us. So now we all got a chance to get in.
Yeah, and you're like to us, you're the guy that changed that culture in all reality. You know what I mean?
That's what I said to
Yeah,
him.
you know, when I got a call and said, "Well, we were going to induct you," I had to, I had to pinch myself. I go, "You got the right guy." You know, I build choppers, man. I'm not wanting. I don't have a yellow shirt.
Yeah, right.
And I said, "No, okay." Well, it's like, I guess I'm getting old enough to where they're going to give me my gold watch and kick me out the door. I don't know.
The only problem is you run the door, so you're golden.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody get behind this thing. And this is a great article you did about the bike in Cycle Source magazine, and I'm honored to have the plaque. So you did a really nice story. You did it quick too when you saw what was going on. Really appreciate that. Beautiful, beautiful story you did here. The background story to this bike. So I want to thank you for that. So there again, it's you and the community, everybody keeping together because we're all in this thing together. Like we were talking about earlier, the code. You jumped right in with both feet and said, "Okay, what can I do? When can I do it?"
Charlie was a brother. The way he used to say it was the us guys.
Yeah.
The us guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a very unique individual. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and like I say, I always call it that mafia saying, "This thing of ours," and only the guys that really know the code know what this thing of ours is, and that's exactly what you did. You came through here, so we appreciate it, and we're going to take this bike and move it around. And so if you guys get a chance, get online. You can go to Cycle Source magazine. You can go to Denver Choppers. You can go to Sturgis Motorcycle Hall of Fame, and just punch in and buy a ticket for $20, or you can get 6 tickets for $100. So there's your chance to win a piece of history.
Yeah, I believe we have
a beautiful motorcycle. It's one of those one kicker deals, and it's a nice bike. So let's pay attention to this, you guys out there, and maybe one of you guys can win this thing, and you'll win a piece of history because that's what this thing is.
Yeah,
Charlie
buddy.
and the backstory that goes with this thing. So thank you, Chris, for what you're doing here.
Well, I was just going to say, think about that for a minute. At a time where everybody's trying to make the next part that's going to make the money or get a little bit of fame or get on this show or get on that show, here was Charlie putting these movies together in the traditional fashion of old biker movies. You know what I mean? And he wanted everyone to be in that. He wanted to have a chance.
I was in it.
Yeah.
I played Doc. I was believe it or not, I was sitting in a bar playing a guitar,
Yeah.
and I played that part in the movie, And you know what was cool about it? We had Dave Nichols as the director, and you know Dave.
Mm-hmm.
For you that don't know him out there, he was the editor of Easy Rider magazine for a number of years, and he's got some skills that beyond the magazine world and as a director, and so he directed that movie, and so it was a lot of heartfelt stuff going on with this movie, you know, and so somebody's going to get this at the Buffalo Chip. They're going to call out the winner, and as far as I know, Chris, you don't have to be present to win, right?
No, you don't. We're gonna.
Okay.
I think the last Friday, if I have that right, Heather, can you back me up on that? We're gonna do the. Your mic is off. Your mic is off.
The raffle's going to be open through till 11 a.m. on Eastern Standard Time on August 13th. We're going to do the drawing and announce it live on stage at the Buffalo Ship that night at 10 p.m. And hopefully we'll be able to stream that live as well. So
Yep.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
everybody make it to Sturgis this year. You're tired of sitting home, tired of there's no COVID stuff going on there. You know, it was in fact they are the only state that never closed down, and we were there last year, didn't wear masks, and we're still standing. So come on out, be a part of this thing, support this deal here, support Chris and Cyclosaurus and his crew and Heather, Mark on their show. And I know we're going to be there for that. We're going to take that ride in Sturgis. Don't forget, for Brett Hat, we're going to do that Chopper Memorial ride, and we're going to ride the back roads and
Get me
do that
info on
Friday
that,
the
please.
6th. So
Make sure I get.
We're going to keep you guys busy, is what we're saying.
That's awesome.
So get out-
Mondo, if
get
there's anything we can help you do with that ride or anything else with your other events, please reach out to me.
Just be a part of it and cover it. You guys know Brett, so
You know,
part
I
of it,
wouldn't
cover
miss
it.
it. Brett was a
you know
good
what's
man.
you know what's funny about that? We all love Brett so much, and
That's another
And-
unique guy.
you know, you give people nicknames so that you can remember them for each other when you're having conversation. And we all used to refer to Brett as Big and Scary
Yeah, yeah.
because he was,
He
man.
so
I mean,
wasn't.
But then he was a total opposite, right?
Oh no,
Heather? Yeah,
he was
yeah.
he was a total sweetheart. But
One
when
nice
you
guy.
when you looked at that guy, like he sent chills down your spine looking at him across a crowded room, you
Yeah.
know. But he ended
Yeah,
up being
no.
one of the nicest human
I-
beings on the planet.
I remember the first time I met him, I was at Easy Rider show in Sacramento, and his bikes were next to mine. I think we went 2 days without talking, and finally we went over and started talking to each other because he was trying to figure me out, and I was trying to figure him out. And finally, we just went over, sat down, and talked, and ended up being best friends, you know. And yeah, of course, you know that Brett, anybody out there, Brett had a knucklehead running for every year that one was made, and he
Yeah.
probably had enough parts to build another 20 or 30 of them. He was a knucklehead guy and panheads, but boy, did he have a collection of knucklehead motorcycles, and he used to bring them all to the shows, and he's dearly missed. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
buddy.
do something to memorialize him and honor him. So
Yeah, he
so we
deserves
we
it.
lost Charlie last year. We lost Brett. I mean, it was a rough year, you know. So let's get out and celebrate their lives and do things in their honor.
Can you do one favor for us before we cut you loose? We saw a ton of amazing motorcycles, but Mark is dying to see that car more. Mark wants to see
All
the
right,
gasser.
hey, give me 1 second, Chris.
Okay.
I want to.
Oh, Gerald, keep that camera work on, dude. You're killing it.
I love this car.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. That thing
Okay,
is
I've got
fabulous.
Well, here's the slicks that go on the back, and I've got the wheels sitting up there. I'll get these mounted tomorrow. These are the old, Mark. These are the old pie crust cheater
man.
slips,
Oh, yeah.
10-inch. So I'm going to build a Ford 9-inch Posit Traction 4-link, and Aaron's going to help me design that rear end. And I just built all the front axle and did all that and chromed the whole thing. So I'm going to chrome the rear end as well. This thing spent 3 years in the paint shop. This black paint is just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing looking. What motor?
Big block coming soon.
With a
Wow.
blower.
Blower.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, buddy. That's all business.
That's
This car is already big block 427.
man.
Runs only on race fuel. Smells great when it runs.
Yeah, I can smell it already.
Yeah.
Dude, that is my world right
yeah,
there,
but buddy,
boy.
that Chevy's the star.
Yeah, that thing is totally
Get a
badass.
picture underneath.
I'm really hoping that I'm back out and running when we head out that way, because I'd like to see that in person.
Dude, that thing's clean like the day it was born.
Man, Yeah.
Show them the knuckle. Show them the knuckle. Show them the gear. We want a sneak peek at this knuckle because this one's going to kick ass.
Yeah, that brake setup is pretty awesome.
Now this is going to have a knucklehead motor in it, and Aaron Green's building the manifold. We bought aluminum heads out of Germany and built an aluminum manifold for a big Weber going here. In fact, that's for the electric fuel pump. And then I made all the parts here, and it's the thing is Battleship Gray, which is the Mopar color. So we opted for just to go for with one color, and then I want to show you something trick on the other side. It's got those aluminum 12 spokes from W.W. Cannon out of Germany.
Yeah.
And this is actually a 16 and a 19. And, you know, all the old 12 spokers were 15s and 18s. So that's kind of cool having those.
Ripple pipe.
And then look at here, you guys. I took some 36 Lightning gears and I made the mechanical brake system.
Dude, that is awesome.
So anybody that knows knuckleheads and that they're going to say 36 Lightning gears, that's your brake.
Yeah,
Where'd you come up with that idea? That's an amazing idea.
Just woke up one morning and said, let's do something different. You know how those things go.
Oh yeah.
Old GME tank.
Yeah, buddy.
So this one's gonna be nice. It's got a polished knucklehead motor, 1945.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's 103 inch, and with the big Weber and everything done to it. So we're gonna try to have this one in Sturgis. Aaron's finishing up the heads on it right now, so we're gonna try to debut this in Sturgis along with the two the tribute bikes to Denver, the High Patrol bike and the orange bike with purple flames. We'll try to get these there, and of course I know where they're going to be there. But you know, we even did the old cocktail shakers with the screws in them. You can Gerald found these things somewhere online. You can't even get these anymore. And then I welded them up, took the brackets off the back, and one piece of pipes, and so that looks kind of cool. And if you look at it from the side, you don't see any brackets.
That
like
shovel head, man.
there.
Listen, I love everything that you do, but that shovel head is all me.
Yeah, that's a nice.
That is all me.
Here's the thing you don't know. This is not the shovel motor that's going in it. We didn't have it done. The shovel motor in it is a 96-inch dual plug head with a mag.
Ooh.
And we just took one of Gerald's other motors and stuck it in here just for the deal for Kyle yesterday. So this motor will be coming out, and we're putting a badass 69 shovel in this thing.
Right on.
And
Take a shot of those fishtails again that you cut out. That's totally badass too on the cop bike.
yeah, check that out. Now, we used to do this back in the old days, and a lot of guys do them, but they don't do them the way we fish mouth. And see the way they're done here?
Yeah.
That's different. And you know that bike I did in the Dave Mann painting where two of my bikes running down the road, Dave Mann's last painting was two of my bikes. And one of them had the fishtails cut out. And you know he nailed it in the painting? He got these exactly right. That guy was good.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, those are
Dave
cool.
Mann. Oh, a couple things up. In Reno here, we're putting on Street Vibrations. We put on the bike show here. And that's in September, the end of September, the 24th, that weekend. So we're going to be putting on that bike show. The following weekend, we're going to California, the Conacosta Fairgrounds for the Richmond Hells Angels. We're putting on a bike show for them. So we've got a lot of stuff going on, and we'll be bouncing around putting on bike shows everywhere. So we're really looking forward to Sturgis. Debuting all these new bikes and being there with you guys. And you guys need to make a trip out to my shop.
Yes.
I know.
Yes, for sure.
I'm really hoping I'm back at it for Sturgis because even the Brett ride, I'd really love to be a part of that.
No.
I don't know if I'm going to make it yet or not. So, man, that'd be fun.
Chris, could we go visit between Sturgis and Bonneville? Is that convenient?
I'm good. The whole last half of the year is going to be a blast.
I'm down.
All about making memories, Chris.
Yep. Listen,
all about making those memories.
We're working our asses off.
Days.
We're working our asses off on the front half so that we can have some memories at the end of the year.
Yep, exactly. And making memories every day, and hopefully more good ones than bad ones. And like I always say, that when you're sitting in your rocking chair, that's all you're going to have to look back on is your memories. And I'll think back on the cars and bikes and the drag boats that I built, and the people that I've met in my life in Denver and Gerald and all these guys. That mean the world to me. So I'm blessed. I'm in my 70s and I'm still out here lifting motors and building bikes and making front ends. And man, I'm having a ball. I just
I hope you guys come back and your next life is me. I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of fun, met a lot of people, and done a lot of things all over the world, and to be a part of your program, it means the world to me, and what you're doing, and it just I watch you on your bikes and stuff. You guys, if you watch, you see me shout out to you every week, and I don't know if you see me on there, but I'll say hi to you. But
yes, sir.
I'm a big fan. I watch every Sunday. I watch this show, and I get excited, and just the guests that you have on and things you guys got going on all the time. It's just a joy, and I know this is a lot of work for you guys, and I just want to tell you that us in the biker world really, really appreciate what you guys, the time, effort, and money that you guys put into all this equipment to do this and travel around and doing these things for us.
Truly humbling.
It is.
You know, you're keeping this thing of ours alive and keeping it going, because if you guys go, we're done. You know? So you guys got to hang around for a long time. Keep doing what you're doing. I promise to keep doing what I'm doing, and I've got another generation to come along after me and take this thing over, keep Denver Choppers going. So, you know, we're rolling, man.
You got some good people around you. I wanted to say that, a special shout out. I know Gerald is running the camera there for you tonight, but man, like, there hasn't been a time where we've been stuck for something like you mentioned about the golden pan, about jumping on that and getting that story done. If it wouldn't have been for Gerald, that wouldn't have happened. Yeah. Those guys, he sprung into action, grabbed a photographer, grabbed a bike, put the photo shoot together all in like a day and a half and made that happen. And I know he does that stuff for you all the time. Like, he's solid.
Well, you know, but that's what he does for a living. He's a graphic artist, and he does big casinos and restaurants and everything. He takes care of all their advertising and marketing. So this kind of stuff for me, I said, Gerald, I need a poster for a show. 10 minutes later, he sends me a finished poster. Like, we just did the posters and banners for the Corbin deal, and he knocked those right out. You know, he just is, what do you want? Okay, I got it. What's the dates? And it's done. So, yeah. And my machine is standing here. I need parts, and I handed him a block of aluminum the other day, and a square piece of aluminum. He says, "Go make me a manifold." And he came back with the most beautiful manifold you've ever seen. And I said, "We need to start making these." You know? It's cool when you got people around you like that. My chromers always come through. That front end I donated the other day for Kyle's deal. I took it in Monday morning to the chrome shop. Monday afternoon, it was put together and delivered down there for the rolling chassis. So I just call in my guys and say, hey, we need this, we need that, and they always take care of us. So it's a joint effort. It's a group thing, just like you guys are part of. We're all part of this family, and we all stick together and do this stuff together. So
and that just shows a level of respect too. So you know, I mean, these people are all there.
It really does, and you know, it's. But it goes both ways, you know. If they ever need anything, I'm right here for them.
Well, let me tell you, pre-show, I noticed, you know, the camera was on, and at 70, you grabbed that piece of pipe and moved that lathe and never even thought twice about it. So 70 ain't got shit on you, buddy. You're gonna be here for a minute.
That's true.
My mid 70s, you know, but you know, I grab these motors and throw them around on these bikes and stuff. I think I just don't know. I still think I'm a kid at heart. You know, these choppers will do that to you, you know, and still think you're a kid, but I always have Gerald standing on the other side, grab the crankshaft, we line it up as it goes in.
Well, you and Steve,
and don't scratch it.
Yeah, right.
You and Steve Broyles always talk about it the same way. Still playing motorcycles.
Yeah,
I love when you guys say that.
You know, and that's the cool thing is you never grow up. If you're a chopper guy, you never grow up.
Yeah.
No, you're an inspiration. You're an inspiration. I can tell you that. So.
Well, I want to do this till the day I die, you know, and hopefully I can. Yes, and we're just going to keep pumping these bikes out and doing different things and building bikes for people and awesome stuff. And a shout out to my painter, little Mondo, who does fabulous work for me. Couldn't do it without him. So, you know, it's a conglomeration of people. It's just not one person. You know, I build all these by myself, but I reach out to my painter, my chromer, my machinist, that does all my CNC work for me, and Gerald. So everybody comes together at one point or other and joins in to make this thing happen. And that's the fun part, you know. And most of the times we do this stuff, there's no money exchange, and it's just part of a brotherhood. And I'd sure love to see more of that.
I have to say, I keep through this, I keep noticing you have all the saws on the wall. I had a crap ton of them when my shop burnt down and lost a lot of them. And it's totally freaking me out. I'm looking at all those old wood saws hanging on the wall over there, and that's fantastic.
You know, most people don't know it, but I used to be a framing contractor.
Oh, no shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I used to with Denver, I would go out and frame houses during the day, and then at 3:30 when I got off, I'd go to the shop, pick up a frame, and run home and do the molding on it till midnight. So, get a couple hours sleep and go out and frame another house the next day.
Well, we have a little in common because that's what I do all day long.
So I was a framer for years, and then I had a construction company. I had 100 guys working for me at one time, doing apartments and custom homes and stuff. And I could still swing a hammer, believe it or not. I got out my old hammer and went to Hawaii a couple of years ago and built a big 2-story garage, all open beam for a friend of mine, carport, barbecue hut there in Hawaii. And I thought, man, I'm 70 years old. I could still do this thing. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. So yeah, that's why you see all the saws and stuff
that's cool.
Because I've worked with my hands all my life, and motorcycles are no different than building houses. You're going from point A to point B. You're still using your subs, but you're just using different materials, but the theory's all the same.
Yeah, I lost all my saws in the fire when my shop burnt down, but one, and it's hanging over the door at my garage at my house.
And it means a lot to you, doesn't it? Yeah. These mean a lot to me. It's part of who I am is a carpenter.
Yeah, that's
I'm probably
cool
a carpenter first, a bike builder second.
Yeah, me too. So,
and that's fine. That works for me.
Right.
Works for me. So,
well, listen.
But, I've had a great time. And unless you guys get any other questions,
I wanted to say thank you so much because, taking time like this, I know you guys are really cranking to get everything done coming up into a busy season, and we appreciate you taking a little bit of time and telling us some stories and helping keep this inspiration going for us.
Tell you what, it's always fun, and I look forward to your show every week, and I'm an avid fan, and seeing all the young guys come on there. I watched Paul Cox the other day, and I was really excited to see him and all the stuff he's got going on. So, I hope a lot of these guys make it to Sturgis this year. Maybe we can have a reunion, get everybody together. I know I got Billy talking to going, and let's do it. Let's have a good time. Everybody get together, kind of reminisce like the old days.
Yes, sir.
That would be awesome.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Well, you make sure to send us all the information about the ride, about everything else that's going on. We're going to keep pumping all the shows throughout the rest of the year. Just make sure we have the flyers and stuff, and we'll include it in our feed every week.
Okay, I'll get on Gerald and get you a poster. He's got them made already. I'll just have him send it. But Hollister's coming up next, and that's open to everybody. We're gonna have a great time and support Mike Corbin and everything that goes on in California. So we're gonna go do California.
All right, man. Well, listen, thank you guys both. Thanks a lot, Gerald, for the awesome camera work and for almost giving Mark a heart attack with that car.
Dude, that car is freaking. I can't. I'm coming just to see the car. I'm telling you right now.
When I get it done, Mark, we'll go for a ride and do some wheel stands.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm on my way. I will not miss that.
All right, man. You take it easy, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.
All right, talk to you later.
Take care, Mondo.
Oh man,
dude, I'm going.
Listen, we're so lucky we don't live close to that shop. Well, he's so lucky because
we would he's lucky.
Yeah, we'd have
we'd
have cots there. We'd have cots there.
I would already had a job there.
So. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. He is such an amazing guy. Those two are pretty awesome people.
So we still have stuff to get through that, but there was no way. There was no way. Like I would have stayed on for the rest of the show and just looked at more stuff in that shop.
And just listening to him talk, like that's history to us, Yep.
Well, listen, man, I want to remind you guys, you are watching Shop Talk. We go live with this show every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with some tech. Stick around.
Hey, what's happening? It's Xavier with Providence Cycle Works, and you're watching ShopTalk.
Hey, Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, Grease and Gears Garage. Man, are we stoked to be riding with the guys from the High Seas Rally. Really neat thing that we're doing this year. So, in addition to all of the landside events like the mini bike race, and we're actually getting on board the High Seas Rally. We're going to have Xavier and I do Grease and Gears Garage segments, live demos on the ship. We're going to teach you guys fabrication. It's going to be a blast. Of course, our virtual bike show. You want to come hang out with us, take a strange and unusual trip out on the high seas with some pirate biker guys like us, go check out highseasrally.com. We'll see you there.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Okay, man, I want to thank all of our sponsors for the show. We couldn't do Shop Talk without you guys. How long have we've been doing this show for almost 6 years now, right?
This is episode 160.
Wow.
Jesus.
I'm like after that, I'm like totally fine. I want to go home and work on the car. I haven't figured out yet if I want to work on a bike, the car. In all reality, we're lucky to get to hang out with people like Mondo, Aaron Green, Billy Lane, Paul Cox, and
and not because like some people are starstruck because of guys that have been on television or something like that. No, it has nothing to do with that.
No, it's them.
It's those people, what they do, what they stand for. Like
that's it too. And Aaron and Melody are some of the nicest people I've ever met.
No.
Billy Lane, just a cool, interesting guy. It's amazing. You sit back and you think to yourself how lucky you truly are, and to get to do this, and I'm gonna go do wheelies in a car with Mondo. So you all shut the hell up. So I don't even care.
So listen, speaking of working in the garage, Mark and I got to do some cool shit in the shop.
I got to get out of the house today.
Yeah. So we're gonna go straight through this. I had originally broke it into two parts. Before we go to this, real quick, I want to say, Wink Eller, you, sir, are another one of our heroes, and thank you so much for being here. The fact that you watch our show is mind-blowing, so thank you so much. But yeah, this was our day in the shop. We were originally going to break this into two pieces because the show is going over. I'm just going to run straight through it. We'll come back. Couple things we got to do to wrap up with you guys. Don't go anywhere. We're going into the shop. Grease and Gears Garage. Here we go. We're in the shop getting ready to do the drop tail kit from SpeedKing, and wanted to go over a couple things with you. First of all, if you ever wondered, you see this thing, you guys have seen it out on the road with us with Grease and Gears Garage, and you wonder, why would you need something like this in your shop? This is a perfect example. I'm going to be working on this thing by myself effectively. Having the ability to lock that down to this table is going to let me cut stuff off and tap on things, and without this moving around, it's going to be invaluable. So big kudos to Weld Table. First thing that we're going to do, because all this is dirty and I don't want to contaminate my welds by just cutting stuff, so we're going to take a look at the areas that are going to be affected by this operation, and I'm going to come in here with some 80 grit sandpaper and just pull all this paint away as much as I can, a wire wheel, try to clean that up and get that stuff out of the way. And then let's go back to this. You should have learned this when you were kids like me. Models come with instructions, follow them to the letter. Even if you're going to modify them, you have to know what the instructions are. So Jeff has taken the time to lay out some great instructions here. In it, he explains to you how to get your measurements, make sure everything's square, keep the swing arm in This is going to help you keep the back of the frame square. You know, the nature of a weldment fixture is the fact that this stuff was put in a jig and welded. There could be some spring to it, so starting off with a base set of measurements is going to be your best bet to get the results you want, because ultimately we want to end up with shock mounts exactly where they are now, frame horns exactly where they are now. One of the easiest ways to do that, I'm going to go off of the top bolt from my shock mount, center of that. So this is going to be left side 11 5/8. Knowing myself, I'm going to verify these measurements second time. Okay, so luckily the cavalry showed up, and Mark is joining me on this to keep me from screwing up. I think Jeff might have called him.
Well,
but I'll take any help that I can get. So last night before we quit for tonight, we got all this stuff cleaned up, got everything away from the area where we're going to cut and then fit to weld. I made a little cheater fixture here, which just sits on like this. I'm going to use this to, I'm going to measure my reference point to get a place where I'm going to put the line for the cut. And then I'm going to use this to make an equal line the whole way around the tubing.
you know, if this isn't something you do every day, the recommendations are great, and everything. I mean, obviously Jeff's top quality in everything he does, but I'm impressed, Jeff. I am. Must have been Beverly.
So all I'm doing now is making a
Marked reference.
indication, yeah. So we're cutting kind of in the same position. And what we'll try to do when we get the cut done, we'll try to grind down to the top of that line, and then we'll check it for level and everything. You know, the biggest thing is, he says over and over again in those instructions, don't take for granted that the original frame fixtures are straight or level or anything.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll just that's a 3/4.
Sawzall blade and cut further out and then grind back now that you have your reference, you know what I mean?
Okay. Is that the right angle?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Anybody in the market for a partially used?
Clean those up to square. Clean these down to square. Okay, so at this point, we have relieved the motorcycle of its stock shitty seat rails. Right now we've done our measurements, you know, where we did with our stock shock mounts, and we're about 1/8 of an inch on this side too high. Before we take that back off, we're going to square up the face on our pieces here and get our measurement for the tubing, because obviously we went a little bit long on this. You can see where we're at there. So
Again, it's recommended.
what we're doing now, we've measured our cup depth. We have about a 9/16 depth on the cup, and even though that we realize this is the outside, so it should be a little bit long, we're going to make our line there and then add our 9/16 to it, and probably add another little hair just so we're safe.
Yeah.
And then we'll cut that off, refit everything, and see where we're at.
Okay, so let's mark this one right side.
We have our rear fixture on, have just enough wiggle in this that we can adjust these to make sure that we have a nice line here. We're going to get a level across the top of them, start tacking this stuff in, but we have already verified our original measurement, both with the shock mount and with the frame horn, they're exactly where they were stock. So we know we don't have rotation of this fixture. We also know that we're not too high or low or too close or far away. We haven't, you know, we had a little bit of springing on the right side down tube that we had to account for, but other than that, everything went together pretty smooth and pretty close to the way it was factory. Okay, so we tacked all our sections in place, remeasured everything. I actually got a little bit of a weld bead going here, but before we get into these castings, we're actually gonna preheat these. Jeff says right around 500 degrees. You know, once you get these things hot, the heat doesn't dissipate real fast, especially when you're welding on stuff. So it's not gonna take a whole bunch of this. That's why you can do it with a, you know, little hand torch and map gas. We're just going to heat these up, and what Jeff says that does is it'll keep the casting from cracking, you know, with a quick application of heat. Yeah, you can feel them. They get up the heat pretty quick. Okay, so now we're going to continue on. We have the frame out of the fixturing that we had it connected to the table with. I'm literally just going to start spinning it around and finish my root pass welds, which are my deepest welds. Let that all cool down. I'm doing, you know, like a ½ an inch at a time and jumping around so I can try to keep it from moving as much as possible. And then when that cools down, we're going to come back and, you know, dress out our welds. Okay, so got all my root welds done, did a filler weld or dressing weld, and now I'm going to take my air file and work the weld proud down a little bit. If you can see here, I just want to stay on top of that weld proud, because what we're going to do afterwards is come back in with the file and try to bring it the rest of the way. Not gonna lie to you, taking that down with the air file and then the file took a good bit of time. Now I'm moving on to some 150 sandpaper. 150 will go down to 220. In the end, I want to try to do Jeff proud. Make sure we can't see that seam. All right, man, so here we are. Went through the process of air file. You can see my shit is just breaking apart. I was using a bunch of that. Air file down to hand file, down to DA sander with 150. Saw where some of my trouble areas were, came back to air file and file, back to DA sander with 150, then I moved to 220 in the end. I got a beautiful, beautiful finish. And like I said, man, this is a fantastic product to begin with. With Jeff's SpeedKing parts and accessories, he does sell a adjustable swing arm so that you can move your shocks further back and even get a more aggressive look with this. He also sells a special oil tank and battery box that is fit for this drop tail conversion. Killer products. Took me an afternoon, you know, so I mean, in a shop like this one, you know, this is the little 2-car garage attached to my house that we call the Grease and Gears Garage. You too can install the SpeedKing drop tail conversion. So get on it. I got a lot to do, because now we got to hurry up and get this thing back up on wheels, get the benchmark fenders mounted, lots to do on the Twisted T dragger. So we'll see you guys next time.
All right, man. Thanks again to Jeff Cochran over at SpeedKing, and it really was like an absolute pleasure to work with that product, man. You know, when you do this stuff long enough, you can tell guys that rush through shit or, you know, maybe haven't done enough of them. And then there's the guys like Jeff that have done so many of them that they don't want something busting their balls when it's time for them to do something, so they make it that nice for you too, you know.
Yeah, and there's nothing that Jeff doesn't do that's really top quality, hands down.
Yep.
So one of the best in the industry.
So you can check them out at speedkingphoto.com. Heather's put the link up. We're also going to put the whole video up on YouTube, so you guys can go back and watch that on YouTube standalone. I have to apologize to our regular tech contributor on the show, Rich Petoniak. I didn't have time to get everything together for tonight, so Rich got bumped.
You were just so excited.
I know. Rich got bumped for our video, and I feel terrible about it.
You should. You're so mean. But you were just so excited about that one. I think Rich understands. He's a good guy.
I feel a little bit bad. What I don't feel bad about is that normally I'm the guy that has the DA and the file in my hand.
I know. You skipped out,
you
you bastard.
were so fast with that.
I know.
It was
See how quick he was
amazing.
going. See how fast that DA was moving.
But you know, what's the point of this? You know, if you guys, if you haven't done stuff like this, or you know, just look at the difference with dropping that down, and then like I said, Jeff sells an adjustable swing arm where you can kick those shocks out even more. Like that is stone cold sexy, total badass. Like my man Jeff.
Yeah, buddy, he's one of my favorites.
Yes, sir. So we're rolling on to the 120 minutes, or no, 90 minute side of things, right? We're 90 minutes?
You're at 90 minutes.
Okay, so
We've been doing like 60 to 90, and that seems to, you know, be the sweet spot, but you're a little excited tonight.
Rich Petoniak, you should absolutely do that drop seat on your next.
Oh, the most definitely.
Yeah, because, I mean, really the difference between a squared off shovel head and that now, like I'd never have one again. Like I will always do that.
You know, the hardest part, Heather, was we could have probably stayed in Mondo's shop for another 2 hours.
Oh, absolutely. I cannot wait to go visit Mondo's shop. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
I've been bugging Chris for a couple of years to do that, so I'm looking forward to that.
I'm going to have to start doing next exercises to work up for them wheelies we're doing in that car.
So Will H is on here making comments about a project he's working on. He says, I dig the new performance look. You should definitely tune in Thursday night to the show that we engineer for some guys called Torque Performance, because they're doing all that stuff. For us, this is Shop Talk. We do the show every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. We love doing this show, and thank you guys so much for making us part of your week. I can't tell you what it means to me when people tell us, hey, man, that's how I finish my week off. You know,
pretty awesome.
Cut the grass, do whatever bullshit I need to on Sunday, have dinner, grab some ice cream, sit and watch Shop Talk, go to bed.
Ice cream again. We don't have any ice cream. Stop saying ice cream.
I bought hot fudge yesterday at the store, so I know what I'm doing when I go home. I'll take a picture and send it to you guys.
There you go.
You will too.
I know.
That's going to be an ice cream tech tip.
I already sent you food once this week, so you're out.
I know, you're awesome. So yeah, actually, Mark, if you guys ever have the opportunity to have Mark Persichetti come for you,
my God,
you have to. He makes hands down the best Alfredo ever.
If it wasn't for the beard hair getting stuck in my teeth, we really could have been a thing.
I do pretty good Alfredo, but Mark's, oh my God.
You do realize Clinton Wallace just had a heart attack, and now he's pissed. He's probably texting one of us, just to let you know. So.
All right, man. Well, listen, until next week, please, please, please be nice to each other. Go do something for someone in the motorcycle thing, and let's try to live in honor of keeping Mondo and that generation proud of us, that we can carry on the traditions. Until next week, get out in the garage and do something.
Go ride.
It's awesome. Go
do something cool.
Tim Stahl, when the F did we get ice cream?
I like ice cream.
Tim, we'll get ice cream when you come visit
Tim's
us.
coming here tomorrow.
Is he?
Yeah.
We're going to get ice cream tomorrow, Tim.
We're working on the shovel head. I like ice cream.
As soon as I'm done, we're coming here and we're going to get ice cream, Tim.
Till next week when we do some more of this motorcycle bullshit. Same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Bye, Felicia.